You're alive right now, this very moment. You're breathing, your heart's beating, and you're thinking. That's a miracle. But here's the real question. Are you truly living, or are you just existing? Every single day you have a choice. You can choose to be active, to push yourself, to grow, or you can choose to be passive, to let life happen to you. The difference between these two choices is the difference between success and mediocrity, between fulfillment and regret. When you're old and gray, looking back on your life, what do you want to see? A life filled with what is and if onlys, or a life bursting with achievements, growth, and memories of challenges overcome? The truth is, life doesn't care about your excuses. It doesn't care if you're tired, if you're scared, or if you think you can't do it. Life moves forward regardless, and if you're not moving with it, you're falling behind. But here's the good news. You have the power to change. Right now, in this very moment, you can decide to be active. You can decide to push yourself. You can decide to live, not just exist. It's not always easy. In fact, it's often hard, but that's the point. Growth happens when we're uncomfortable, when we're pushing our limits, when we're doing things we didn't think we could do. Every day you have the opportunity to become a little bit better than you were yesterday, to learn something new, to overcome a fear, to take one step closer to your goals. But it doesn't happen by accident. It happens because you make it happen. Think about the most successful people you know, the ones who seem to have it all together. Do you think they got there by being passive, by waiting for opportunities to fall into their laps? So they got there by being active, by pushing themselves every single day. But here's the secret. They're not superhuman. They don't have some special gene that makes them better than you. They're just people who made a decision to be active, a decision to push themselves, a decision to live life to the fullest. And you can make that same decision right now. It starts with small steps. Maybe today is going for a walk instead of watching TV. Maybe it's reading a book instead of scrolling through social media. Maybe it's having that difficult conversation you've been putting off. Whatever it is, do something that pushes you out of your comfort zone. Because here's the thingamy of growth. When you're comfortable, you're not growing, you're not learning, you're not becoming the best version of yourself. Think about a muscle. If you never use it, it gets weak, it atrophies. But if you use it, if you push it to its limits, it grows stronger. Your mind, your skills, your abilities, they're all like muscles. They need to be pushed to grow. And the beautiful thing is, the more you push yourself, the easier it becomes. It's like building momentum. The first step is the hardest, but each step after that gets a little bit easier. And before you know it, you're running. But it all starts with a decision to be active, a decision to push yourself, a decision to live, not just exist. Now I know what some of you might be thinking. I'm too old to change. I don't have the time. I don't know where to start. But let me tell you something. Those are just excuses. And excuses are the nails used to build the house of failure. You're never too old to change. As long as you're breathing, you have the ability to grow, to learn, to become better. Age is just a number. It's your mindset that matters. And time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about having time. It's about making time. It's about prioritizing what's important. And what could be more important than becoming the best version of yourself? As for not knowing where to start anywhere. The important thing is to start. Take that first step, because a year from now you'll wish you had started today. Remember, being active isn't just about physical activity. It's about mental activity too. It's about challenging your mind, expanding your knowledge, pushing the boundaries of what you think is possible. Read books that challenge your thinking. Have conversations with people who have different views than you. Try to solve problems you've never tackled before. Your brain is like a parachute. It only works when it's open. Being active isn't just about you. It's about the impact you have on others. When you push yourself to be active, when you strive to be better, you inspire others to do the same. You become a beacon of what's possible. I want the people in your life, your family, your friends, your colleagues, how would their lives be different if you were constantly pushing yourself to be better? How would it change their perception of what's possible? You see, when you push yourself to be active, when you strive for growth and improvement, you're not just changing your life. You're changing the world around you. You're setting an example. You're showing others what's possible when you decide to truly live, not just exist. But let's be real for a moment. Being active, pushing yourself every day, it's not always going to be fun. There will be days when you don't feel like it. Days when you want to give up. Days when it seems easier to just be passive and let life happen to you. Those are the days that matter most. Those are the days that define you, because success isn't about what you do when you feel motivated. It's about what you do when you don't feel like doing anything at all. On those days, remember why you started. Remember the person you want to become. Remember the life you want to create, and then do it anyway. Push through the discomfort. Push through the doubt. Push through the fear. The satisfaction of pushing through those tough days far outweighs the temporary comfort of giving up. The pride you feel when you overcome a challenge is worth more than any fleeting moment of ease. And here's another secret: action creates motivation. You don't have to feel motivated to act. Often, it's the act of doing something that creates the motivation to do more. So on those days when you don't feel like it, do it anyway. Take that first step and watch as the motivation follows. Fear for a moment. Fear is one of the biggest obstacles to being active, to pushing yourself. Fear of failure. Fear of the unknown. Fear of what others might think. But here's the thing about force. It's often just false evidence appearing real. Most of the things we fear never actually happen. And even if they do, they're rarely as bad as we imagine them to be. So instead of letting fear paralyze you, use it as fuel. Let it drive you forward, because the only thing more frightening than taking a risk is the thought of looking back on your life and wondering, what if? Remember, every great achievement in history was once considered impossible. Every breakthrough, every innovation, every leap forward happened because someone decided to push past their fears and be active. You have that same potential within you. You have the ability to do things that seem impossible, but it won't happen by accident. It won't happen by being passive. It will only happen if you decide to be active, to push yourself every single day. Consistency. Being active, pushing yourself, is not about making a big change once in a while. It's about making small changes every single day. It's about consistency. Think about water dripping on a rock. One drop won't make a difference. But over time, with consistent dripping, that water can carve a path through the rock. That's the power of consistency. That's the power of pushing yourself every day. It's not about making huge leaps. It's about taking small steps forward every single day. It's about making progress, not perfection. Perfection is the enemy of progress. If you wait until conditions are perfect, you'll never get anything done. So instead of waiting for the perfect moment, create the moment. Instead of waiting for the right opportunity, create the opportunity. Be proactive, not reactive. Be the driver of your life, not just a passenger. And remember, being active isn't just about doing more, it's about doing better. It's about constantly improving, constantly learning, constantly growing. It's about becoming a little bit better each day. I think about compound interest. If you improve just one each day, after a year, you'll be 37 times better. That's the power of consistent daily improvement. That's the power of pushing yourself to be active each day. Setbacks, because they will happen. You'll have days when you feel like you're moving backward instead of forward. Days when it seems like all your effort isn't making a difference. But here's the thing, setbacks are not failures. They're opportunities to learn, to grow, to become stronger. Every setback contains a lesson. And if you're active, if you're pushing yourself, you'll find that lesson and use it to propel yourself forward. Remember, the road to success is not a straight line. It's full of twists and turns, ups and downs. But as long as you keep moving forward, as long as you keep pushing yourself, you'll reach your destination. And speaking of destinations, goals for a moment, having goals is crucial. They give you direction, they give you purpose, they give you something to strive for. They're not just about the end result. They're about who you become in the process of achieving them. They're about the person you develop into as you push yourself to be active each day. So set big goals, goals that scare you a little, goals that force you to grow, goals that require you to become more than you are right now. Because when you set big goals, when you push yourself to achieve them, you become a bigger person in the process. But remember, goals without action are just dreams. It's not enough to set goals. You have to take action. You have to be active. You have to push yourself every single day to make those goals a reality. Is another thing about being active. It's not just about achieving goals. It's about living fully in each moment. It's about being present, being engaged, being alive. Too often, we go through life on autopilot. We do the same things, think the same thoughts, stay in the same routines. But that's not living. That's existing. Living is about being active in each moment. It's about pushing yourself to experience life fully. So challenge yourself to be more present, to be more engaged, to squeeze every ounce of life out of each day. Because at the end of your life, It's not going to be about how much money you made or how many possessions you accumulated. It's going to be about how fully you lived. It's the power of your mind. Because being active, pushing yourself, it all starts in your mind. Your thoughts create your reality. What you focus on expands. So if you want to be more active, if you want to push yourself, start by changing your thoughts. Instead of thinking I can't, think how can I? Instead of focusing on obstacles, focus on opportunities. Instead of dwelling on what might go wrong, imagine what could go right. Your mind is the most powerful tool you have. Use it to propel yourself forward, not hold yourself back. And remember, your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions become your habits become your character, and your character becomes your destiny. So guard your thoughts carefully. Fill your mind with positivity, with possibility, with the determination to be active and push your energy. Because being active, pushing yourself, it requires energy. And the beautiful thing is, the more energy you expend, the more energy you create. It's like a positive feedback loop. The more active you are, the more energy you have to be even more active. So don't wait until you feel energetic to be active. Be active to become energetic. Move your body, engage your mind, push yourself, and watch as your energy levels soar. And here's another thing about energy. It's contagious. When you're active, when you're pushing yourself, when you're full of energy and enthusiasm, it rubs off on others. You become a source of inspiration, a catalyst for change. Think about the people in your life who inspire you. Chances are they're people who are active, who push themselves, who are full of energy and enthusiasm. You can be that person for others. You can be a beacon of positivity, a source of inspiration. But it all starts with you. It starts with your decision to be active, to push yourself, to live fully each day. Comfort zones for a moment. Your comfort zone is a beautiful place, but nothing ever grows there. Growth happens when you step outside your comfort zone, when you push yourself to do things you've never done before. So challenge yourself to do something that scares you a little bit every day. Take a different route to work, try a new hobby, strike up a conversation with a stranger. Push the boundaries of what you think is possible. On the other side of your fear is your freedom. On the other side of your comfort zone is where the magic happens. That's where you discover what you're truly capable of. And remember, every time you step outside your comfort zone, it expands. What once seemed impossible becomes possible. What once seemed difficult becomes easy. You grow, you evolve, you become more. Failure for a moment. Because when you're active, when you're pushing yourself, you're going to fail sometimes. It's inevitable. It's part of the process. It's not the opposite of success. It's part of success. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. The only real failure is not trying at all. So don't be afraid to fail. Be afraid of not trying. Be afraid of staying in your comfort zone. Be afraid of living a life of what-ifs and if-onlys. Remember, every successful person you admire has failed. Probably more times than you can imagine, but they didn't let those failures stop them. They used them as fuel. They learned from them. They grew from them. And so can you. Because when you decide to be active, to push yourself, you'll often hear people say, I don't have time. But here's the truth. You don't find time, you make time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day. It's not about having time. It's about priorities. It's about how you choose to use your time. And when you prioritize being active, when you prioritize pushing yourself, you'll be amazed at how much time you actually have. So stop waiting for the perfect time. The perfect time is now. Stop saying, I'll start tomorrow. Start today. Because a year from now, you'll wish you had started today. And remember, time is the most precious resource you have. You can always make more money, but you can't make more time, so use it wisely. Use it to push yourself, to grow, to become the best version of yourself. Habits. Because being active, pushing yourself, it's not about motivation. Motivation is fickle. It comes and goes. What you need are habits. Habits are what carry you through when motivation fails. So focus on building habits that support your goals, habits that push you to be active each day. Maybe it's waking up early to exercise. Maybe it's reading for 30 minutes before bed. Maybe it's setting aside time each day to work on your goals. Whatever it is, make it a habit. Because habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. They might not seem like much on any given day, but over time, they can completely transform your life. And remember, it takes time to build a habit. They say it takes 21 days to form a habit, but recent research suggests it might take closer to 66 days. So be patient with yourself. Stick with it. Push through the difficult days. Because once those habits are formed, they'll carry you forward. Mindset. Because being active, pushing yourself, it all starts with your mindset. Do you have a fixed mindset or a growth mindset? A fixed mindset believes that your abilities are set in stone, that you're either good at something or you're not. A growth mindset, on the other hand, believes that your abilities can be developed through effort, learning, and persistence. Cultivate a growth mindset. Believe that you can improve, that you can learn, that you can grow. Because when you believe you can improve, you open yourself up to endless possibilities. And remember, your mindset is a choice. You can choose to believe in yourself. You can choose to believe in your ability to grow and improve. You can choose to push yourself to be active each day. Self-talk, the way you talk to yourself matters. It shapes your reality. It influences your actions. So pay attention to your self-talk. Are you encouraging yourself or criticizing yourself? Are you focusing on what you can do or what you can't? Are you focusing on what you can do or what you can't? The difference is crucial. Positive self-talk isn't about ignoring reality. It's about framing challenges in a way that empowers you to overcome them. Instead of saying, I can't do this, try, how can I do this? It's a small change, but it opens up a world of possibilities. Your inner voice is the soundtrack of your life. Make sure it's one that motivates and inspires you. When you catch yourself engaging in negative self-talk, pause. Take a deep breath. Then reframe your thoughts in a positive, actionable way. This isn't about blind optimism. It's about cultivating a mindset that propels you forward. Remember, you wouldn't talk to a friend the way you sometimes talk to yourself. Be your own best friend. Be your own cheerleader. Encourage yourself. Believe in yourself. This brings us to the power of belief. Belief is the foundation of action. If you believe you can do something, you're far more likely to take the steps necessary to make it happen. If you believe you can't, you've already lost before you've begun. So choose to believe in yourself. Choose to believe in your ability to grow, to learn, to overcome obstacles. This belief isn't something that's given to you. It's something you cultivate. It's a choice you make every single day. And here's the thing about beliefs. Often precedes evidence. You don't need proof that you can do something before you believe it. In fact, it's your belief that often creates the proof. So dare to believe in possibilities. Dare to believe in your potential. Dare to believe that you can push yourself to new heights. Resilience. Because when you're pushing yourself to be active each day, you're going to face setbacks. You're going to face obstacles. You're going to have days when everything seems to be working against you. That's where resilience comes in. Resilience isn't about avoiding difficulties. It's about bouncing back from them. It's about getting knocked down 7 times and standing up 8. It's about facing adversity and coming out stronger on the other side. Like a muscle, it grows stronger with use. Every time you face a challenge and overcome it, you're building your resilience. Every time you push through when you feel like giving up, you're becoming more resilient. So embrace challenges, see them not as obstacles, but as opportunities to grow stronger. Because the more resilient you become, the more you'll be able to push yourself, the more active you'll be able to be. Let's shift gears and talk about the power of small wins. When you're pushing yourself to be active each day, it's easy to focus on big goals. And big goals are important. They give you direction. They give you something to strive for. But don't underestimate the power of small wins. Those little victories you achieve each day, they matter. They build momentum. They create positive reinforcement that encourages you to keep pushing. Did you wake up early to exercise? That's a win. Did you choose a healthy meal over junk food? That's a win. Did you take a small step towards one of your goals? That's a win. Celebrate these small wins. Acknowledge them. Let them fuel you, because success isn't just about reaching your destination. It's about all the small steps you take along the way. And speaking of steps, the importance of taking action. Knowledge is power, but only when it's applied. You can have all the motivation in the world, all the best intentions, but if you don't take action, nothing changes. So focus on taking action, even if it's just a small step. Even if you're not sure it's the right step. Any step forward is better than standing still. You can always adjust your course as you go, but you can't steer a parked car. Remember, clarity comes through action. Often, you don't need to see the whole staircase. You just need to take the first step. So take that step. Push yourself to be active, because it's through action that you'll discover what you're truly capable of. Now let's discuss the role of discomfort in growth. We often avoid discomfort. We seek out what's easy, what's familiar. But here's the thing. Growth happens outside your comfort zone. It happens when you're stretching yourself, when you're pushing your limits. So learn to embrace discomfort. See it not as something to be avoided, but as a sign that you're growing. When you feel uncomfortable, when you feel challenged, that's a good thing. It means you're pushing yourself. It means you're active. Think about working out. The burn you feel in your muscles, that's not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're getting stronger. The same principle applies to all areas of life. That discomfort you feel when you're pushing yourself, that's the feeling of growth. The power of your environment. Your environment shapes you more than you might realize. The people you surround yourself with, the content you consume, the spaces you inhabit. They all influence your thoughts, your actions, your ability to push yourself. So take control of your environment. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, who challenge you, who support your growth. Consume content that motivates you, that educates you, that pushes you to be better. Eat spaces that energize you, that facilitate your goals. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So choose wisely. Seek out relationships that push you to grow. Cultivate friendships that inspire you to be active, to push yourself. And it's not just about people. The information you consume matters too. In this age of information overload, be selective. Choose books, podcasts, videos that align with your goals, that inspire you to be active, that push you to grow. Now let's address the role of rest in being active. It might seem counterintuitive, but rest is crucial when you're pushing yourself. Without proper rest, you risk burnout, you risk injury, you risk losing the very motivation that drives you to be active. But here's the keys in the sound of being passive. Active rest on engaging in low-intensity activities that promote recovery can be just as important as pushing yourself. Maybe it's going for a leisurely walk. Maybe it's practicing mindfulness. Maybe it's engaging in a hobby you enjoy. The point is, don't feel guilty about taking time to rest. It's not a sign of weakness. It's a crucial part of being able to push yourself consistently. Think of it as recharging your batteries so you can push even harder tomorrow. The power of visualization. Your mind is an incredibly powerful tool, and one of the most effective ways to use it is through visualization. When you vividly imagine yourself achieving your goals, pushing yourself, being active, you're more likely to make it a reality. Athletes use this technique all the time. Before a big game or race, they visualize themselves performing at their best. They see themselves overcoming obstacles, pushing through pain, achieving victory. And you can use the same technique in your daily life. Visualize yourself being active. See yourself pushing through challenges. Imagine how it feels to achieve your goals. The more vividly you can imagine it, the more real it becomes in your mind. And the more real it becomes in your mind, the more likely you are to make it a reality. Now let's discuss the importance of accountability. When you're pushing yourself to be active each day, it's easy to let yourself off the hook. It's easy to make excuses, to postpone, to say I'll do it tomorrow. That's where accountability comes in. Find an accountability partner, someone who shares your goals, who understands your vision, someone who will check in on you, who will encourage you when you're struggling, who will celebrate your victories with you. Or consider making your goals public. Share them on social media. Tell your friends and family. When you make your intentions known, you create a sense of accountability. You're more likely to follow through because you don't want to let others down. Remember, you're not in this alone. Seeking support and accountability isn't a sign of weakness. It's a sign of commitment. It's a sign that you're serious about pushing yourself, about being active each day. The power of gratitude. When you're pushing yourself, when you're focused on growth and improvement, it's easy to always be looking forward, to always be focused on what's next, what's still to be achieved. But taking time to practice gratitude can be incredibly powerful. It can shift your perspective. It can renew your energy. It can remind you of how far you've come, which can motivate you to keep pushing forward. Each day, take a moment to reflect on what you're grateful for. Maybe it's the ability to push yourself. Maybe it's the progress you've made. Maybe it's the support you have. Whatever it is, acknowledge it. Feel it. Let it fuel you. Gratitude isn't about ignoring challenges or pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing the good in your life, even as you strive for more. It's about finding joy in the journey, not just the destination. Now let's address the power of your why. When you're pushing yourself to be active each day, there will be times when it feels hard. Times when you want to give up. That's when you need to connect with your why. Why are you doing this? Why is it important to you to be active, to push yourself? Is it for your health? For your family? For your personal growth? For the impact you want to make in the world? Whatever your why is, make it strong. Make it personal. Make it emotional. Because when you have a strong why, you can endure almost any how. So take some time to really think about your why, write it down, visualize it, feel it. And when things get tough, when you're tempted to be passive, reconnect with that whys. Let it reignite your motivation. Let it push you to be active. The power of consistency. Being active, pushing yourself, is not about making heroic efforts once in a while. It's about showing up every day. It's about consistency. Think about water dripping on a rock. One drop won't make a difference, but consistent dripping over time can carve a path through the rock. That's the power of consistency. That's the power of pushing yourself every day. It's not about making huge leaps. It's about taking small steps forward every single day. It's about progress, not perfection. Consistency beats intensity every time. So focus on being consistent. Push yourself to be active every day, even if it's just a little bit. Because those small, consistent efforts compound over time. They create momentum. They build habits. They transform your life. And remember, consistency isn't about being perfect. It's about getting back on track quickly when you fall off. It's about pushing yourself to show up, even on the days when you don't feel like it, especially on the days when you don't feel like it. Now, let's address the power of reflection. When you're pushing yourself to be active each day, it's easy to get caught up in the doing. But taking time to reflect is crucial. It allows you to learn from your experiences, to adjust your approach, to celebrate your progress. At the end of each day, take a few minutes to reflect. What went well? What could you improve? What did you learn? This isn't about beating yourself up over what you didn't do. It's about learning, growing, and preparing to push yourself even further tomorrow. Reflection also allows you to see patterns. You might notice that you're more active in the mornings or that certain types of activities energize you more than others. Use these insights to optimize your approach, to push yourself more effectively. Remember, the goal isn't just to be busy. It's to be effective. It's to push yourself in ways that truly matter, that truly move you towards your goals. Reflection helps you ensure you're on the right track. The power of passion. You're passionate about something. Pushing yourself doesn't feel like a chore. It feels exciting. It feels energizing. It feels like something you get to do, not something you have to do. So find ways to inject passion into your daily activities. If you're exercising, find a form of exercise you genuinely enjoy. If you're working, find aspects of your work that excite you. If you're learning, focus on topics that fascinate you. And if you can't find passion in what you're doing, find a way to bring your passion to what you're doing. Maybe you're not passionate about your job, but you're passionate about doing excellent work. Maybe you're not passionate about cleaning your house, but you're passionate about creating a beautiful, organized space for your family. When you approach your activities with passion, you'll find it easier to push yourself. You'll find it easier to be active. You'll find it easier to overcome obstacles and keep moving forward. Now let's address the power of purpose. Having a sense of purpose, a feeling that what you're doing matters, can be incredibly motivating. It can push you to be active even when things get tough. Your purpose doesn't have to be grand or world-changing. It just needs to be meaningful to you. Maybe your purpose is to be a great parent. Maybe it's to make a positive impact in your community. Maybe it's to create something beautiful. Maybe it's simply to become the best version of yourself. Whatever your purpose is, connect with it daily. Let it guide your actions. Let it push you to be active, to keep growing, to keep pushing yourself. Remember, purpose gives direction to passion. It turns your energy into focused action. It helps you push yourself, not just for the sake of being busy, but for the sake of making a difference in your life and in the lives of others. Pushing yourself to be active each day isn't always easy. There will be days when you feel tired, when you feel discouraged, when you want to give up. But those are the days that matter most. Those are the days when you have the opportunity to prove to yourself what you're truly capable of. Remember, every day is a new opportunity. An opportunity to push yourself, to grow, to become better than you were yesterday. An opportunity to live fully, not just exist. So make the decision right now. Decide to be active, decide to push yourself, decide to live, not just exist, because you have greatness within you. You have the power to shape your life, to achieve your dreams, to make a difference in the world. And it all starts with pushing yourself to be active each day. So what are you waiting for? The time is now. Your future self is watching.